Not a lot of people are talking about how significant this is, and that we really have reached a turning point. That we have reached a point of no return, that anime really has grown to such a point that we are in uncharted territory with whatever can happen next. Because obviously this is some insane news, but then we also have Demon Slayer news. And that's not even getting into the soul leveling news that came out as well in the last 24 or so hours. And I want to dedicate some time to really talk about this because honestly, this really showcases a current trend, not just with anime production and release, but also what people are wanting. And so, let's start off with the first image I showed at the beginning of this video. Chainsaw Man Reze versus the Broly movie's lifetime earnings and what the Chainsaw Man movie has made so far. Obviously, the numbers are probably a lot more different now, because it's been like a full day or two since this picture was made, but the point of the matter is that Chainsaw Man has defeated Broly in lifetime earnings. And this is very significant for one massive reason. Dragon Ball is a pop cultural phenomenon. It's a icon. It's a legendary series. I think someone could take a look at Goku, or Vegeta, or the Kamehameha, or whatever, Spirit Bomb, and they will instantly recognize what series it's from. Even if you have never watched the series, you probably will recognize them. People might recognize it from different reasons, maybe through Fortnite, or maybe through references through cartoons, or whatever, but a lot of things have referenced Dragon Ball throughout the years, for decades now. The significance of Dragon Ball harbors just so much weight around the world. There's countries that dedicate so much time to it. I mean, you have people in, like, South America and Mexico that absolutely love Dragon Ball. And so you got the point here to where Dragon Ball is significant. It is a massive title that honestly is what caused a lot of people to get into anime for the very first time. I know it was one of the very first things I ever watched when I was a kid. So it is very significant. And Broly's movie that released, for those that don't know, Broly's movie released back in 2018. It was prior to the release of Demon Slayer's anime. It was prior to COVID, obviously. It was prior to the Mugen Train movie for Demon Slayer. It was prior to JJK and Chainsaw Man. It came out at a time period right before anime reached a whole new level of popularity. And I feel like this showcases the shift in culture, but also just how many new fans are actively in the community. Because obviously, at the time period when Dragon Ball Broly came out, the significance of it was massive. I remember seeing conversations about this movie everywhere. Everybody in the anime community, and the manga community was talking about it. I saw people that don't even care for anime watching the movie. They loved the movie. But here's the thing. To see this movie that has so much significance, it was legitimately one of the best movies I've ever seen for anime film, be beat by Chainsaw Man Reze. No, I'm not putting Reze down. It's a great movie. Phenomenal. It is honestly just pretty much a masterpiece. But what I'm saying is that the number here showcases that there is a lot more people watching anime than they were back in 2018. And I think a big significance of this is all thanks in part to Demon Slayer. This one right here is very significant that I think a lot of people are really not talking about, and that is Demon Slayer is the gateway, or the entry point for a lot of anime fans. Just as how Dragon Ball was the starter anime for people back in maybe the 90s or 2000s, Demon Slayer now is that new Dragon Ball. It is one of those series that is so significant, has so much weight to it for a lot of people, that it is now the new age Dragon Ball. And as much as people might not want to accept that, they might not want to say that, it's the truth. And the cultural impact is like the second wave since Dragon Ball, but around the world. And I think that right here, seeing that Infinity Castle's film debuting in China, it was able to do $200 million in just its opening weekend. This is not including Japan, Europe, Canada, America, Mexico, South America. It's not including those countries. This is just including China. And the fact that in the opening weekend in China, it sold 200 million is insane. It is actually insane. But the crazier part about this is that someone pointed out that the Demon Slayer movie's opening weekend in China beat JJK Zero's entire run. Now, this is not putting down JJK Zero. Once again, I'm not putting down Broly, Reze, or anything, but it's showcasing the growth of anime. It's showcasing that the numbers that, let's say, for instance, Crunchyroll has brought up and talked about as of late is very true. That there is definitely global phenomenon, a more of in demand for anime and manga than there ever has been, and it is just something that's continuing to grow. And at the moment, there is really no plateau in sight yet. There is no level off point. It's just astronomically growing as time goes on, and only time will tell how far it really will grow. But the point is that these movies now, anime in general, is now rivaling and competing with household names, not just like Dragon Ball, but with Marvel, with Disney movies, with Star Wars. It's competing with some of the biggest Western industry titles, and it's demolishing them. And it's doing it in a way that's even better than what, let's say, the West does, what Hollywood does. Because anime, regardless if this might seem bad or not, anime is made cheaper than what Hollywood does with their movies. And the fact that they're able to make these movies for way cheaper, obviously this doesn't get into the controversy with low pay and stuff like that, but the fact that these movies are able to be made cheaper, and then released like they are, and then outperform Disney and Marvel, says a lot. And I think that these outperforming numbers are so significant that it's not even comparable. Like, Disney puts like holy crap, $400 million into a project, and then they make maybe $600 million from the entire life run earnings. While you have like Demon Slayer, let's just say hypothetically, they put maybe $40 million or something into it, and they get back like $800 million. Obviously, the profit there is just insane. That's not including like stuff with like Demon Slayer, or not Demon Slayer, with Chainsaw Man and stuff like that, on just how much profit it's earning too. What I'm saying here is that anime has forever changed the game. Not just for anime, but I think for the entertainment industry itself. Now, obviously, the elephant in the room here that I do need to say is that as anime continues to grow in popularity, there will be a lot of companies, a lot of countries that find interest in anime and want to influence it to be able to make more of that slice of pie. We have definitely seen this. It's definitely ongoing. We have definitely seen investments from multiple countries into Japanese products to be able to get more of the anime slice of pie. And obviously, there will be issues that arise thanks to this. There might be censorship, there might be guideline issues, maybe anime will be fundamentally changed and watered down to the point of what happened to Western Hollywood. But the point here is that anime is growing at an astronomical rate. And seeing Demon Slayer being the start of all of this, I never would have thought that it would have had this much of a cultural impact on a global scale like this. I knew it was massive when it came out years ago. I remember making videos talking about the Demon Slayer anime, the movie release, and everything. But to see that we've gotten to the point where it's not just causing anime production to change, but now like interest in what people want from anime is also insane. Which I guess let's segue into that. Obviously, with the surgence of Demon Slayer, there has definitely been an uptick of things of people wanting shonen. Now, this has always been a big thing. People always have liked shonen. There's a reason Dragon Ball's popular. Not putting it down or anything like that. But the point is people like Demon Slayer, and because of how good Demon Slayer has been, people want more of what Demon Slayer is. And I feel like this gave rise to a lot of series either making a return or even coming into the realm of popularity. I do think that thanks to Demon Slayer's themes and what it has going on with supernatural demons and stuff like that, that it is one of the big reasons why stuff like JJK really reached new realms of popularity, why maybe Chainsaw Man did, and also why Bleach even returned. Now, I'm not discrediting these series by any means, but I do think that Demon Slayer's significance on culture and what people want from a story shifted. Because prior to Demon Slayer, a lot of anime and stuff was either fantasy, like reincarnated, transported, or it was hero-based, like, My Hero Academia. And now you have a shift to people wanting more supernatural and demons and stuff like that, and you can see that there is a lot more stories trying to cater to that. And I think that Demon Slayer has had its time, and now Soul Leveling is shifting into the next spotlight. This right here really does not shock me, this news right here, that Soul Leveling is now getting a movie. There is talks, it's unofficial technically, but with all the conversation around it, there's multiple posts and people talking about it, it's pretty much guaranteed that, yes, Soul Leveling is getting a movie. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. I mean, when you factor in just what's in popular right now, anime movies, I mean, you take just a look at right now with Demon Slayer and Reze, like the Chainsaw Man movie, speaks for itself. So, when you factor in the success of Season 2, of Solo Leveling, yeah, it's a no-brainer they would want to make a movie. Okay. So, the movie doesn't really surprise me at all. But I do think that the reason why there is such a global success for anime movies as of late, honestly, I do think is in part thanks to Demon Slayer. Now, we could say that it is also thanks to the Broly movie, because technically the Broly movie did very well for a time period before anime really exploded. But I do think that Demon Slayer in general is what really started making anime studios and companies starting to realize that movies might be the way to continue their shows, to unleash and flex their capabilities, and in an uncensored way at that, because they don't have to follow the traditional TV broadcasting regulations when they release it in theater. So I think that in general, when I look at like this announcement, it is the evolution of the popularity of anime, and it's just going to continue happening. Is this a good or a bad thing? I guess we'll have to see. But I've been rambling on for a long time here. I just want to talk about this because I thought this was very interesting. I mean, just seeing the global phenomenon that Demon Slayer is currently at right now, I've been seeing the Reze movie outperforming Broly, and just like, man, I never would have expected something like this. You take me back 5-6 years ago, I would have never have guessed this was possible. But here we are. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below how you feel about this. I love you guys. Be safe. Stay healthy. Chibi out.